The arena was huge, bigger than any place the humans had ever seen. It was filled with thousands of aliens from many different planets. They had come to watch the strongest fighters compete. The air was thick with noise, cheers, and strange sounds. In the middle of the arena stood the alien champion. He was tall, with sharp claws and glowing red eyes. Everyone knew him as the fiercest and cruelest fighter. He never lost a match. When he moved, the ground seemed to shake. When he spoke, his voice was cold and full of hate. Suddenly, he pointed at someone in the crowd. The arena fell quiet for a moment. Then a loud laugh came from the champion. Laughed hard and clear, pointing at a quiet girl standing at the edge of the arena. The girl was human. She looked small compared to the giant aliens around her. Her clothes were simple and worn. Her eyes were calm and focused, but she said nothing. She did not move or show fear. The champion laughed even louder. "Look at this," he shouted. "A weak human. What is she doing here? Does she think she can fight me? This will be easy." The crowd cheered and jeered. Some aliens shouted insults at the girl. Everyone expected her to run away, cry, or beg for mercy. But she did not. She stood still, quiet and calm. The champion's laughter filled the arena again. "Come on, little human, show us your strength, or are you just a joke?" The girl took a slow, deep breath. She looked straight at the champion. Her eyes did not waver. No fear showed on her face. For a moment, the crowd was silent, watching carefully. Who was she? No one knew. The champion moved closer to the center of the arena. His muscles were big and strong. His claws were sharp as blades. He was ready to fight, ready to crush. But the girl did not move. She stayed calm and silent. The crowd grew confused. Some began to wonder, was she brave or foolish? Suddenly, the sound of heavy footsteps echoed. The announcer's voice came through the loudspeakers. "Today's match, the champion versus the human challenger. Let the fight begin." The champion raised his arm and roared. "Prepare to lose, human." The girl took one small step forward, but she did not raise her hands to fight. She simply stood there, still calm. The champion laughed again, louder than before. He swung his arm toward her. Everyone expected her to jump back or block the hit, but she did not move her feet. The arm hit the air just beside her, missing by inches. The crowd gasped. The girl's calm eyes never left the champion. There was something different about her. Something powerful. The champion was shocked. No one had ever refused to fight like this. No one had ever stood so still. He took a step back. His anger grew. "Are you scared, or just too weak?" He sneered. The girl said nothing. She only smiled. A small, quiet smile. The silence in the arena grew deeper. Then, slowly, the girl raised her hand. Her fingers moved in a strange way, soft and slow. Suddenly, the champion's arm twisted painfully. He screamed and fell to the ground, clutching his arm. The crowd was silent again, unable to believe what had just happened. The champion's arm was broken. But the girl had not moved her feet. She had not even taken a step. How was this possible? The aliens stared in shock. The champion looked at his arm with pain and confusion. He glared at the girl with anger. "You cheated," he yelled. "No one can do this." The girl kept her calm. "I did not cheat," she said softly. "You underestimate me because I am human." The crowd buzzed with whispers. Many aliens could not believe what they had just seen. The announcer's voice returned. "This fight has only just begun. What will happen next?" The girl stood tall, ready for whatever came next. The champion slowly got up, still angry but now cautious. The arena was filled with excitement and fear. Everyone wanted to see what the human girl would do next. Who was she? Where did she get this strange power? And how would the champion respond? The fight that shook the arena had just started. The arena was buzzing with whispers and shocked gasps. No one could believe what they had just seen. The mighty alien champion, the strongest fighter in the galaxy, was defeated without a single step moved by the human girl. How was this possible? The girl stood in the center of the arena, calm and quiet. Her breathing was steady, and her eyes looked like they could see through the whole crowd. She was not scared or nervous. Instead, she looked ready, like a storm waiting to break. The champion slowly stood up, holding his broken arm. His face was red with anger. His sharp teeth showed as he growled low, "You are lucky I held back. Next time, I will crush you." The crowd grew silent again. No one dared to say a word. Everyone was waiting for what would happen next. The girl took a step forward. She didn't say anything, but her eyes burned with quiet strength. The aliens started whispering to each other. Who was this human? Where did she get such power? A strange sound came from the arena speakers. The announcer's voice echoed, "The fight is not over. The champion demands a second round. Prepare yourselves." The alien champion roared loudly and raised his good arm high. The crowd cheered loudly. They were sure the champion would win the second round. The girl looked calm, but the tension was thick in the air. Suddenly, from the crowd, a strange figure stepped forward. It was a tall alien wearing a long robe and glowing jewelry. Everyone stopped and stared. The alien spoke in a clear, strong voice. "This human is not like others. She carries a power unknown to us. You should be careful, champion." The champion laughed and said, "Power or no power, I will break her like the others." But the girl did not seem afraid. She stood tall and ready. Her silence was louder than any shout. The second round began. The champion moved fast, striking hard and sharp. The girl moved slowly, watching his every move carefully. She didn't attack yet. She was waiting for the right moment. Suddenly, the champion swung his fist towards her head. The girl stepped to the side, just a little, but her feet barely moved. With one fast motion, she reached out and grabbed the champion's arm. Her grip was strong like iron. The champion's face showed surprise. His eyes widened. Before he could pull away, the girl twisted his arm quickly. The champion screamed in pain but did not fall this time. The crowd gasped. They had never seen a human fight like this. The champion tried to break free, but the girl's grip was firm. She looked at him quietly and said, "Stop underestimating me." The champion growled and used his free hand to strike at her, but she dodged easily. The fight continued, fast and tense. The girl's calm and careful moves surprised everyone. She didn't use strength. She used skill and patience. Finally, the champion lost his balance and fell to the ground, breathing hard. The girl stood over him, quiet and strong. The crowd was silent again. They could not believe the human was winning. The announcer said, "The champion is beaten, as for now. But this fight is far from over." The girl looked around the arena. Her eyes were full of fire and mystery. Who was she? Why was she so strong? And what would happen if she fought with all her power? The fight was just beginning. The crowd could not stop talking about the human girl. Everyone was shocked that she defeated the alien champion twice without using much strength. How was she so powerful? What was her secret? The girl stood quietly in the arena, her breathing steady. She looked calm, but her eyes told a different story. There was a deep strength inside her, something the aliens had never seen before. Backstage, the alien champion sat with his commanders. His arm was still sore, but his pride was hurt more. "Who is this human?" he asked angrily. "How can she fight like this without moving much?" One commander spoke softly. "She has a power we don't understand. We must learn more before we fight her again." Meanwhile, the girl thought about her past. She remembered the long years of training on Earth, years spent learning to control her mind and body. Her power was not just in her muscles. It came from inside, from her will and her calm mind. She had trained to stay still and focused, even when everything around her was chaos. The crowd watched as the girl prepared for the next round. They saw something new: respect. Even some aliens nodded quietly. They knew this human was not an ordinary fighter. Suddenly, the arena doors opened. A strange figure walked in, a tall alien with silver skin and bright eyes. Everyone stopped and stared. The alien spoke slowly. "I am a watcher from the Council of Elders. I have come to see this fight. Humans have surprised us before, but this one is special. The girl looked at the watcher. She felt calm, but inside her heart beat faster. The champion stood up, ready to fight again. You may have strength, but you cannot defeat me forever, he growled. The girl smiled slightly. Strength is not everything, she said. There is more to power than muscles. The watcher nodded. We shall see. The next round began. This time the girl moved. More, but still with control. She avoided the champion's attacks, moving like water around rocks. She used the power inside her, a strange energy that made her faster and stronger. But she did not show it fully yet. The champion tried to hit her hard, but she was too quick. Each time she dodged and struck back with small but powerful moves. The crowd was on the edge of their seats. They had never seen a fight like this. The champion became frustrated. He realized he was fighting not just a body, but a mind and spirit, stronger than his own. The girl's calm was her greatest weapon. The battle continued, fierce and exciting. The crowd could feel the tension and energy in the arena. As the fight ended for the day, the champion fell to his knees, exhausted and defeated again. The girl stood tall and quiet, her secret still safe. What was this strange power she held? Would the champion ever understand it? And what would happen next in their battle? The fight was far from over. The arena was quieter than before. The fight had taken a strange turn. The alien champion and his team were confused. How could a simple human girl fight like a true warrior and win? The girl stood alone, looking calm but thoughtful. Inside her mind, she knew the truth about her power, a secret she had kept hidden for a long time. That night, in her small room behind the arena, she looked at her hands. She had trained hard for years, but her strength was not just from training. It came from something inside her, something no one could see. Long ago, before coming to this alien world, she had found a strange artifact on Earth. It was small but glowing with a soft blue light. When she touched it, she felt energy flow into her. It changed her body and mind. This artifact gave her powers that no other human had. It made her stronger, faster, and more aware. But it also taught her control, how to stay calm in any danger. She looked at the glowing stone on her table and whispered, I will use this power to prove that humans are not weak. Back in the arena, the alien champion met with the silver-skinned watcher again. The watcher looked serious. You must be careful. The watcher said, This human is connected to something ancient and powerful. If she learns to control it fully, she could change everything. The champion growled, I will find a way to stop her. The next day, the arena was filled with tension. The crowd waited for the fight to continue. Everyone wanted to see if the girl would use her secret power. When she entered the arena, the glow in her eyes was brighter. The crowd whispered, She is different now. The champion charged with a loud roar. The fight was faster and fiercer, but the girl was ready. She moved with grace and strength. Suddenly, she used the power from the artifact. A blue light surrounded her hands. She did not need to move her feet. With just a small gesture, she broke the champion's sword. The crowd gasped. The champion was shocked and angry. How can this be? He shouted. No one can do this. The girl smiled quietly. This is only the beginning, she said. The watchers in the crowd nodded. They saw that the girl was not just a fighter. She was a symbol of change. The champion knew the battle was harder than ever. But he refused to give up. The girl's secret power was out. But could she control it? And what would happen if she lost control? The fight was no longer just about strength. It was about heart, mind, and mystery. The arena waited for the next move. The arena was packed with eager eyes. Everyone wanted to see what the human girl would do next. Her secret power was no longer a secret. The blue light from the artifact had shocked everyone, friends and enemies alike. The alien champion stood at the center, his face twisted with anger and frustration. His pride was hurt deeply. She is not just strong, he said quietly. She is dangerous. The girl walked into the arena, calm but ready. She knew the power inside her was growing stronger every day. But she also knew she had to control it carefully. If she lost control, things could get worse. The announcer's voice boomed. "The next round begins now." The champion charged at her, faster and more furious than before, but the girl was ready. She moved like the wind, dodging every attack with perfect timing. Suddenly the girl raised her hand and the blue light shone brighter than ever. The crowd gasped again. The champion stopped, unsure what would happen next. The girl didn't move her feet. Instead, she focused her power. The air around her seemed to hum with energy. Without touching him, the champion felt a strong force push him back. He stumbled, shocked by this new power. The crowd cheered loudly. They had never seen anything like this. The champion growled and tried to attack again, but the invisible force stopped him every time. The girl's power was growing, and so was her confidence, but something was wrong. Suddenly the blue light flickered and wavered. The girl's eyes showed a flash of fear. She was fighting hard to control the power inside her. It wanted to explode, to break free. If she lost control, she could hurt herself, or others. The champion noticed her struggle and smirked. "You can't control it. You will fail." The girl closed her eyes and took a deep breath. She remembered her training, her quiet mind, and the promise she made to herself. With all her strength, she calmed the power inside. The blue light faded to a soft glow. She opened her eyes and looked at the champion. "This power is mine," she said quietly, "and I will use it to protect, not destroy." The champion snarled and charged one last time, but the girl was ready. With one powerful move, she knocked him to the ground again. The crowd erupted in cheers. The girl had won, but the battle was far from over. The rising storm of power inside her was just beginning. After the intense fight, the girl sat quietly in her room. Her body was tired, but her mind was sharp. She knew something was wrong. The blue light inside her was growing stronger every day. It gave her power, but it also made her feel strange, like something was watching her. Far away, in the shadows, a group of aliens whispered. They had been watching the arena fights closely. "We must stop her," said the leader. "If she controls the artifact fully, she could destroy us all." They planned to send a secret agent to the arena, a skilled fighter who could defeat the girl and take the artifact. Back in the arena, the girl trained hard. She wanted to be ready for whatever came next. Her moves were faster, and her control over the blue light was better, but deep inside she felt fear, not of the champion or the crowd, but of the unknown enemy coming for her. One evening, as she walked through the dark halls, she sensed movement behind her. She turned quickly. A shadow disappeared around the corner. "Who's there?" she whispered. "No," answered. Her heart beat fast. She realized the fight was no longer just about the champion. There was a hidden enemy, someone who wanted to steal her power. The next day, during the fight, a new challenger appeared. Tall, strong, and silent, the challenger's eyes were cold and hard. The crowd was stunned. No one had seen this fighter before. The champion growled, "This is my final chance. I will win back my honor." But the girl knew better. The real danger was the new challenger. The fight began. The new fighter was fast and skilled, moving with deadly precision. The girl dodged and blocked, but this fight was different. The challenger didn't just want to win, he wanted to hurt her and take the artifact. The blue light in the girl's hands grew brighter. She focused all her strength and prepared for the hardest battle yet. The crowd held their breath. Who was this hidden enemy? And would the girl survive this new threat? The fight had entered a dangerous new stage. The arena was darkened as the new challenger faced the girl. The air was heavy with tension. The crowd was silent, waiting for what would happen next. The challenger moved like a shadow, fast and quiet. He attacked without warning, forcing the girl to react quickly. Every move she made was met with an even faster counter. She felt the pressure building. This was no ordinary fight. This was a battle for her very life and her secret power. The blue light in her hands flickered nervously. She knew she had to control it better than ever. With every strike, she grew stronger. But the challenger was relentless. Suddenly, the challenger launched a powerful attack. The girl barely blocked it, but the force pushed her back. She stumbled and almost fell. The crowd gasped. The challenger smiled coldly. "You are strong, but not strong enough," he said. The girl stood tall again. She took a deep breath and closed her eyes. She reached deep inside herself to find calm. Slowly, the blue light glowed brighter and steadied. She opened her eyes, full of determination. She moved faster than before, dodging every attack. Her strikes were sharp and precise. Then, with a sudden burst of power, she caught the challenger off guard and pushed him back. The challenger growled but did not give up. The fight continued, fierce and unyielding. Each blow echoed in the silent arena. The girl's strength was more than physical. It was her willpower, her heart, and the secret power from the artifact. Finally, after a long battle, the challenger fell to his knees, exhausted and defeated. The Kai girl stood victorious, but she knew this was not the end. More dangers were coming. The crowd cheered loudly, amazed by her strength and spirit. But in the shadows, new plans were being made. The battle of shadows was over, for now. The arena was quiet before the last battle. The girl knew this fight would decide everything: her future, her power, and the fate of many. Her body was tired, but her mind was sharp. The blue light inside her hands glowed softly, ready to burst. The alien champion and the hidden enemy had been defeated, but now a new threat appeared. The true leader behind the attacks. Tall, with cold eyes and a cruel smile, the leader stepped into the arena. "You have caused enough trouble," the leader said. "It is time to end this." The girl stood firm. "I will not let fear or power control me. I fight for more than just myself." The leader laughed. "We will see if your words have strength." The battle began with a loud roar. The leader was powerful, fast, and skilled. The girl used every bit of her training and the artifact's power. The blue light flared bright, lighting the arena like a star. The fight was fierce. Every move was met with a counter. The leader's strength was greater than anyone before. But the girl's calm and heart were stronger. She remembered her promise, to protect and to prove that humans are not weak. With a final burst of power, she broke through the leader's defenses and landed a strong strike. The leader fell to the ground, defeated. The crowd erupted in cheers. The girl had won, not just a fight, but a battle for respect and hope. She looked at the glowing artifact in her hand and smiled. This was the start of a new journey, one where humans and aliens could be equals. The arena was silent for a moment, then filled with applause. The girl had proven her power and her heart. The final stand was won.